Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and we've been on a journey to boosting our studying skills. We are trying to learn effective studying techniques for our success, not just academic success, but success in all spheres of life, in our businesses, in our workspace, in our workstation. We just want to achieve success. All right, so now if you've not watched the first and second part of this video, you should go back because it is a connected video. So you connect the first video to the second video, then to this third video. All right, so the third technique is called spaced repetition. This technique is all about reviewing material at an increasing interval of time in order to boost your memory retention. Remember, retentive memory. You want to retain that information you've stored, so that when you get to the exam hall, you will not be wondering where these questions are coming from, or probably you'll be like, I have seen this question before. Where did I? No, when you make use of this technique, you'll be able to retrieve information you've learned or you've seen before, and you will be able to remember them when you get to that exam, or when you get to that workspace, or when you want to do that presentation. You'll be able to remember. So let us go deeper. What do I mean by increasing interval? So let's say you learn something new today. You store a new information, you learn a new skill. Then you try to review that new skill or that new topic you just learned progressively at a longer interval. So you've learned something new today, then you try to review it again after or once a day. Then you take it to few days, then you take it to 1 week, 1 month, and so on. So it is just reviewing by spacing it. This is a technique I used. Now, this is one thing you should do, right? You're studying or you're learning a skill. So, studying or learning a skill, it's a progressive activity. So you learn something, especially for students. When you want to study, you don't wait. So this is additional tip. You don't wait until it is some days to test or to your exam before you start studying. You start to implement all the techniques I've mentioned, the first two techniques I've mentioned, right from the first weekend of resumption, or probably you are preparing for an exam. You start way before your exam. This is what I do, right? Oftentimes I just take a break for the first week. I don't usually study, but from the second week, the notes are piling up already. So this is what you do, right? So you make sure that you start studying that second week. So now, remember, once you study maybe you study the first page, you study the first 2 pages, then you use the first two techniques I mentioned, right, to study. Then next time, if you want to move ahead, right, you want to study maybe the next page or the next 2 pages, you don't just ignore the first thing you've read or the previous notes you've read and just continue like that. You try to review those pages you've read initially before you move further. So this is what we are saying. So you keep on spacing. And remember, you have like a schedule for studying, right? So probably you study a particular course today, then you pick it up in next 2 days. Then you will review the information or what you learned in the first 2 pages or whatever you studied. You review it before you move further. Then another time when you pick up that same course or that same skill, then you review what you've learned earlier before you further ahead. So this is how to make use of this technique. So additional tips for this video. Remember, in the first video I said I'm going to give additional tips in the last video. So these are the tips. Other things that have helped me so far would be attending classes. Attend classes. Don't miss classes. In the United States, attendance is compulsory. There's a certain percentage you should have, or a certain score you should have for your attendance before you can pass a course. Because attendance is very important. Being in the class, you'll be able to learn from your professors. And this is what I do, right? In my undergraduate days, I try to study my lecturers. I try to um study what they repeat. I will mark it in my notes. I will make sure I study that whenever I am studying. But if I do not attend class, I won't be able to know what my lecturers like, what they would likely ask, or even some lecturers give hints in class. Study this, do this, write this. But if you do not attend class, you wouldn't know this. And another thing is being attentive in class. So if you do not pay attention, definitely you will miss out that information. Another thing is take notes yourself. Write notes even when you go to class. So one thing that I want to say is for me, during my undergraduate, it is very difficult for others to use my notes because I might make comments within notes. I might access, I might underline, I might write shortcuts just for me. It's for my personal use, for me to understand. So if you don't attend class, you won't be able to use my note. Or sometimes just writing notes yourself will, even at that point of writing it in class, is a skill already. Is you'll be able to remember some things by the time you are studying. So these are additional skills, or let me say additional tips for you to achieve that academic success. All right, so we have come to the end of this video, which is boosting our studying skills. If you have any other techniques other than what I have mentioned so far in the 3 videos, you can drop that on the comment section explaining how people can make use of this technique. Remember, all we are working towards is to achieve our dreams, is to make everyone succeed. So if you've enjoyed this video so far, like the video, please comment and subscribe to the channel. Remember to turn on the notification bell for every other videos I'll be dropping. You can call me your coach, yes, your academic coach, and I will see you again in the next video. I wish you success.